This that go and get it, with no hesitation. This that never quit, start that elevation. This that process, this that in the making. This that started from the bottom, this that motivation.
Bad. So let me just get myself all centered here and stuff. My bad, y'all. All right. So much respect to you all. I'm trying to make sure that I go ahead. I want to crank out some lives. I want to crank out a bunch of episodes because I'm getting ready to go for a bit. All right. So I will be doing a cash giveaway. All right. So if you want to attend that, you can. If you don't, okay. That's for whoever chooses. It's not any like specific invites. All right. It's just for whoever wants to show up because I'm getting ready to go ahead. I'm about to be making some very big transitions. So I want to start this off by speaking about something. Today was a very special day. Today was a very special day. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment, right? So, I first want to check in with you guys. I'm curious, like, how do you feel? How was your day? How's everything going with you? How do you feel? What's going on? Let's go ahead and hit this real quick. Y'all already know. Let's go ahead and hit the ensemble. Nancy, if you will, please. All right. Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate you. 7, please, Nancy. Thank you. All right. So let's go ahead and let's just get this going, right? So let's I got some questions, right? Who was this hitting my phone? My bad. Hold on 1 second. 1 second, please. Okay, there we go. Let me see something. All right, man. All right. So I have some questions pulled up here. Okay. All right. So I want to get to these questions that I have. All right. These questions are, sheesh, they're pretty deep questions, right? These questions I'm about to pull up really, they really had me thinking, just to be quite honest with you. Yeah. Yeah, they really, really had me thinking on that one. We're going to go ahead and get into this. Now, the first thing I want to let you guys know is, I've been saying how I've been working on my physical therapy. It's been a very, very, it's been a very, very long road these last 3 years. The healing process, taking that time of solitude, a lot, doubt, worry, fear, right? Insecurities, confidence, resilience, right? Courage. So many different thoughts, so many different emotions that's gone through this man's mind throughout that time, right? So what I would like to do is I want to present something, all right? If you happen to catch it on a replay, cool. If you never see this, okay. Let's see what we got right here. But it will stay up, so let's just see what we got. Today was a very special day for me. So I'm speaking about my accident. And so, I say like what? Maybe about 2 weeks or so ago. Boom. All right, bow. So after some time being immobile, things of that nature, I'm actually to the capacity to where I can walk into the office. All right, cool beans. Now that's a beautiful feeling. That's a beautiful view. I love that picture because it reminds me, if that train couldn't stop me, I swear on life, no weapon that comes upon me now shall prosper. I promise you that. What I've looked at is, do you know what got me back up on my feet? My headspace, my mentality. That's what got me back up onto my feet. Now, does that mean that it stops there? No, I don't stop there. So I'm going to do a quick, brief sharing with you guys. I'm going to briefly share something with you, okay? All right. This is what I'm going to share with you. So let's go ahead. Let's remove that picture, okay? So now that we have removed that picture, what I want to do is I'm going to show you something that's very, very special to me. Very special to me. Y'all ready? All right. So my accident was in January 31st, 2021. No, 2022. January 31st, 2022 was when my accident was. All right. All right. So let's watch this. I'm going to pull something up for you guys. All right. This is another reason why I like YouTube, because I have visuals. All right. So let's go ahead and give us the visuals real quick. Right. Let's go ahead and go with some visuals. Let's see what we got right here. All right. Now, respect to the family. And yes, I see all of you guys on the IG side. Thank you so much for tuning in. Much respect to you. I can see you. And anything you type in the chat, I will read comments. I definitely got you if you want to interact. No problem. All right. So let's go ahead and see what we got right here. What is this video? What am I showing you right here? Like, I don't know. What am I showing you? Let's see what I'm showing you. I'm gonna stop messing with y'all. Let me just push play. Respect to the family. I don't think any words are needed. I'm just gonna play it. Let's go. Today was a very, very special day. Today, I need to see that one part one last time. I'm sorry, because I don't think y'all know what that means for me. Do you not know the struggle has been to go from not being able to walk at all for a minute, wondering if you ever will again? Then you get to that point. You like, God damn it, I'm back on my feet. And that boy look good. Don't he look? Hey, that man look good, don't he? Back up on his feet. Back like we left something. Okay now? And then you hit this point right here. You hit this, like, and then time goes by. And what you do is you stay focused. What you do is you stay resilient. You know what happens? This day comes. For those who are not hip, yeah, it's been a very much so uphill battle. It's been very much so a struggle. Now, why am I speaking about this? Because we're going to be talking about some questions that I have. Okay, so I have some questions that I went on ahead and picked out, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and listen to this real quick, right? We're going to see what we got. So I appreciate everybody so much for tuning in. The time right now is 8:20 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. I thank you all so much for watching. Much respect to the family. Salute to the lambs. Okay, now. So, I swear on life, at that moment, the only thing that was going through my mind was... All right, so we're just going to take a nice little, let's take a nice little fun commercial break. All right, let's take a fun commercial break. And this commercial break, before we get into this top headline story of the evening, is brought to you by none other than, you know, it ain't nothing that I won't do for you, girl.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
All right, let's get on back to it. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to get to these questions right here. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and do this. Now, of course, you already know I like to go ahead and set the scene. I like to make sure everything is nice and mwah with it, right? So let's go ahead and do this right here. All right, so which one I want to pick? You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and take it to the city. All right, let's go ahead and take it to the city. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and set up this scenery. Boom. That's what we're going to do right there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and set up these questions. All right, but the questions are already set. Ah, shoot. You know what? Y'all gonna have to wait. I gotta go get my remote. So, I mean, not my remote, my phone charger. Give me a moment. Let me go grab my. I gotta grab my phone charger so my phone stays on. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back after this.
I'ma get mine. Get yours, nigga, cause I'ma get mine. Today gon' be a good day. Jack gon' keep it playing from the Genesis. As I'm blowing dope, being broke, my only nemesis. Remember when it wasn't all good, I used to reminisce. Felt like I was going through hell with no deliverance. Niggas throwing salt in the game, condoning ignorance. But when it's really in you, not on you, we know the difference. Nigga ain't no willing and dealing, we really killing shit. My brother passed a shooter like Luca, he gave me 10 assists. Nigga, I was Dennis before you knew what a menace is. Now I just spread love to these bitches, ho, I'm a feminist. Way they running back to the dick, they think they Emmitt Smith. No real player gon' break it, that shit be imminent. Yeah. Nigga, we was trapping out the tenement. Niggas ain't hard, they just loud, them niggas impotent. Ain't in it for the glory, my life story is intricate. Don't crash out for the money and watch the niggas you get it with. I say it all, cause I'm past the point that I'ma play with y'all. And as the president, I'ma have to revoke your player call. Don't think the nigga ever was real, and he gon' stay a fraud.
We right here. Respect to the family. I appreciate y'all for your patience. My bad. Nah, cause my phone, I don't want that to die. I was on like 5.2. I don't know what was about to happen. Okay, y'all. So now that we're done, I appreciate all the commercial breaks. My bad for that. I apologize. Okay, we're settled. Just had to breathe and take that in real quick. All right, so let's go ahead and get to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take time and we are going to just simply just relax, okay? Just going to take some time and relax. And I'm going to go ahead and set this scene. We're just going to go here. Yeah, I think we're going to go. Which one I'm going to go to? I'm going to go right here. I like the scenery. I like this right here. All right, bet that. I always got to make sure that you keep the visuals along with what it is that we're speaking about, right? So we're just going to take our time. We are going to take our time. That's right. We're going to slow it down for a second, right? So we're going to slow it down for a second. So this is what we got. What I want to know is this. How many of you guys been through pain? Right? You guys been through pain before? All right, bet. Everybody has, right? Now, with that pain, do you know what happens a lot of times that I notice? A lot of times what generally winds up happening is people then wound up becoming callous. That's right. So, have you ever heard the old saying, let me get my mother's turquoise up here. Where's my banner? All right. Have you ever heard the old saying, right, that goes, what don't kill you make you stronger? You know, I actually believe that. I actually do. You know what I also know? That just as much as what don't kill you make you stronger, that same thing can also turn one callous, thus you don't feel anymore. That's something that takes place a lot. All right. So let's go ahead and think about it. What's the first question to at that point when people decide not to be good anymore? And I've been thinking about that for a long time. Is it really because life has perverted us not to be good? Like real talk. Like let's really think about it, right? When we say keep it 100 and all this other stuff, I want to know, how do we define goodness? That's right. Like what is good, right? So, how do we define goodness in people? And is it universal or subjective? That's what I want to know. That's right. That's question number one. Question number one is, right? What does it mean to be good? I think that's the first thing. A lot of people will go back to the word. There are a lot of people who will go right back to what the word says, and how that works out, right? Let me hit this. Let me make sure my settings are right. There we go. Okay. A lot of people will go back to the word says no man is good except one. That cool beans. Then you have other people with ideologies thinking that good could be possibly your deeds and what you do. Some people think that good is simply just staying out of other people's way. I'm not going to lie. That's somewhat along the lines of me. Like, as long as I'm not bothering you, then I'm not doing you wrong. If I'm not doing you wrong, how could you call me bad, right? I mean, so with me, it's like it's like a triple entendre. So let me see something here. I know. How do we define goodness in people? Let's just start there. How do you define goodness in people? Curious about that myself. All right, so let's see. Goodness in people. One, first and foremost, that's always going to be subjective. I can tell you right now, as much as you, whoever you may be, I mean, as much as you may, hey, he's a cool guy, right? There are people who can't stand me for their own personal reasons. Now follow where we go. So when we speak about goodness, when we speak about what or who is good, right? The fact is that is so difficult to say if we know that nobody is everybody's cup of tea. We all know there's going to be people that just don't rock with you, just don't mess with you just because they don't. It could be anything. It could be your voice, your hair. It could be the way you dress. It could be what you stand for, color your skin. It could be who your best friend is, who you're actually cool with. Sometimes people won't rock with you just because they know you cool with a person they can't stand. You ain't done nothing to them. There are so many different reasons why a person would not look at you as good, right? So, is it universal or subjective? Definitely subjective. Definitely subjective. To say that it's universal is to say that there is someone out there that everybody considers to be good. I want you to tell me, who is that person? That's right. Even the Messiah, the son of Mary himself, if we want to take it that far. Because last time I checked, it was a whole horde and group of people that persecuted and made sure that he got up on the cross, right? As it is written. So even if we were to go that far, all right, Dr. King, I mean, as much as he did, somebody got him on the balcony. Malcolm X, his own got him. We can go down the line of list of people that we can think about that you would say to yourself, you know what? That was a good person. Why did they do that? Right? Well, I mean, there were people after Bob Marley. All he did was smoke weed, sing reggae, and play soccer. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. You're always going to have that group and band of people that their entire everything is to make sure that, that whatever it is, your voice is silenced. Their job is to make sure that in whatever form or fashion that you're not viewed the way people should view you. So we got to think about that. What is good? I don't even know, is my point. I can't tell you what good is. I couldn't tell you. I can't tell you what a good person is. The only thing I can tell you is I know that there are going to be people that's going to respect you and those who don't. Now let's go ahead and move on to the next question. Respect to the family. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. The time right now is 8:32 p.m. East Coast Standard Time, and I thank you all for watching. All right now. So let's go ahead and see what we got right here. Let's get on to the next one. Okay, so let me see here. Hold on. Let me get back to my right. Okay, make sure I'm on the right screen. All right. Next question. Question number 2 reads, are people born good or do we learn to be good? Wow. Are people born good or do we learn to be good? I will tell you for myself, man, that's so... I'm going to stick with what I've always known with that. What I would say to that part is we're born good. I believe that's why they say out of all forms of life, what do they say? I think like babies and animals like dogs and cats and stuff like that, they can actually communicate with the other side. And I believe that, as most of us do, right? A large part of that is because of the innocence and the purity that comes with that child. You see? So because of the innocence that comes with that kid, then that's what actually has them at an innocent, pure state. So if you're at an innocent and pure state, then of course, I mean, you are at that moment good. Why are you good? Because you know not. And even down to what does it say? Well, I think it's something like God protects who? Fools and babies or something, right? So even at that time, it's so funny, right? Because a fool is not the person who doesn't know anything. No, a fool is the person who knows in abundance and chooses not to use it. So it's between that individual and who? Babies. So yes, I would say you're born good just because of how I view the innocence of a child. All right. Something never to be tampered or played with. Okay, now, so let's go ahead and get to this next part. Is mortality innate or shaped entirely by culture and experience? Goodness gracious. Man, that's a good question. One more again for the win. Is mortality innate or shaped entirely by culture and experience? Interesting. Okay. Man, man, all right. Is mortality innate or shaped entirely? I'm gonna be honest with you. Damn, I can't front. Damn, that's tough. Because it's like, I mean, do we naturally know that one day we're gonna go from here? Or is it one day we just had to wait for grandma and them to tell us at church if we don't act this way or do this, whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, or one day we waited for our parents or life or a certain movie scene or anything, right? Sheesh. I'm gonna have to say, honestly, because I like to give most accurate responses possible, but I'll be subjective on this one, right? I would have to say it is innate. And the reason why I would say it is innate, regardless, it's just something you're born with knowing instinctively. Well, just like how they say, for example, like what they say, like babies naturally know how to hold their breath underwater, right? I would say it's innate because even nature shows us that, right? Like there are so many things you don't have to teach humans or animals. Like it's just you don't you just don't. Like some things are shown, right? Some things you're guided to, but I do believe mortality is definitely innate, more so than taught. Now, what I believe that society does, see, the reason why I believe it's so tough for me, right, is because we cannot deny the fact that there is a lot of push with, Bible, Quran, or just, movies, honestly, deletion scenes in movies, right? Um, Pets, right? Right, being that kid and your first goldfish or hamster or puppy or dog or something pass away, right? Those type of moments, and then you recognize mortality. Heck, even if a plant dies, right, you recognize mortality. You see, I get it. Like I actually, you know what I mean, like that's something, man. Honestly, if I had the option, I'm gonna have to say that's like a split 50-50. Man, that's such a 50-50 rate. Yeah, that's an Arnold Palmer. That's an Arnold Palmer right there. All right, bet that one up. Okay, y'all. So let's go ahead and get to this next question. Let's see what we got right here. All right. And the time right now is 8:37 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all for watching. Welcome to the Lighthouse with your host, Mr. Seven. 1 second, please. Okay, now I apologize for that. Let's go ahead and get to this next question. Now, let's get to the next question. Next question is, can someone be, right? Can someone be considered good if they occasionally do bad things? How do we reconcile flaws and mistakes with overall character? Can someone be considered good if they occasionally do bad things? How do we reconcile flaws or mistakes with overall character? Simple, you don't. Believe it or not. The fact is this. This is why, first of all, the word good. See, now this question sounds conflated. All right. And the reason why this question sounds conflated is because, all right, so the first part of it is, can someone be considered good if they occasionally do bad things? So the conflation is good means perfect. Who doesn't mess up sometimes and or just purposely says F it for the day? Sometimes, right? If we were to speak in just being human, right? I mean, who doesn't? So are we really saying that good means perfect? Okay, so I'll read it one more again for the win. Okay, here we go now. Can someone be considered good if they occasionally do bad things? Of course. Of course. The fact is this. You can still be considered like a decent, I'll say a decent, respectable person in society. Absolutely. Because the fact is, who doesn't have some form of history in some category? Everybody's category might not be the same, but we all have, I do believe, if you've lived long enough, right? We all have something in which we're like, you know what? Taking that to the grave. And that's between you and our loving creator. Ain't for me or nobody else to judge. You smell me now. So like, if I do look at it from that perspective, then what else is there to see here? You see? So of course you can. What person is flawless, right? So even this word being in the question, right? So can someone be considered good if they occasionally do bad things, right? How do we reconcile with flaws? You reconcile with your flaws by recognizing and knowing and understanding that you will always have them. If you didn't have any flaws, then you will lose any reason to have to pray and or even keep striving. Let's just say you're a non-believer. Okay, that's not in the picture. Cool beans, it's in mine. But I'm just saying, if you are a non-believer in that sense, then if you don't have any flaws, and if you can say to yourself, I'm never the problem, it's always someone or something else, there's nothing wrong with me, then you stop growing. And anything that stops moving or stops growing becomes stagnant. Stagnant water then becomes sewage, you see? And nobody wants to swim in it, bathe in it, or drink from it, right? And so look at it like water. You got to stay moving. You have to stay in motion. Even the ocean has a filtration system. It's called where the salt water and fresh water meet. It's a heck of a sight to see. Let's get to this next one right here. What do we have right here, people? Okay, now. Is there such thing as a truly evil person, or is it all circumstantial? Wow, I've had to sit on that one for quite some time as well. I really did. I sat on that for for quite a bit. Um, so I'm just going to get right onto it. You motherfucking right, there's some evil people out here. Everybody, everybody does not. I repeat, everybody does not have your best interest in mind. And there are some people, honestly, I'm not going to say they were born evil, but you can be corrupted to the point where you do become that. Period. Yes, you can. There are souls that have been corrupted. There are spirits that have had the light dimmed. Yes, there are. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you see, that's the thing. Some people would say, like, I guess you can say, like, evil, right, is something that is hereditary, as in somehow or another it's in the bloodline, it was passed down, so on and so forth. I don't know, me, I got a hard time with that one because, to say that is to say that, let's say, intelligence is something that's the same in the sense of, I've seen many times where mom and dad's not that sharp, but junior or baby girl, oh my goodness gracious, like, and you just be looking like, y'all birthed this one, like, goodness, you know what I mean? And so if we can't even gauge it from an intelligence standpoint, I can't even do the same with, like, whether or not, the inheritance of evil is in a bloodline. Now, what I can say is that the corruption of a headspace can be passed down. That's the curse itself. The curse itself is what's passed down, literally. So, I mean, because why do you think we say break what? The generational curse, right? All right. So how does that happen? Simple. Don't do to the next generation what happened to you. Like, so for example, abuse. Let's just take abuse. Okay, boom, that happened. Don't do it to the next generation. Bow. Curse broken. Now, but at the same time, it's tricky because easier said than done, Smitty. Why is that? Well, it's simple, because you can't give nobody what you don't have. And usually people give you exactly what they do. So if all you know is abuse and screaming and yelling and fighting and breaking up, or putting your hands on people, so on and so forth, if that's all that you know, then, do we really fault the person who is giving what they only have and who is not capable of giving what they never had? Like, do we really fault that person? You see? So for me, that's real tricky, right? So let's go ahead and see. I want to make sure I get this whole part of this before we go ahead and take us a nice, good little quick commercial break real quick. Hold on. Right, is it circumstantial? Are people bad simply, right? What does it say? Are people bad simply? See what we got. Okay. Oh, shoot. I don't know, because that don't even make sense to me. Okay, so are bad people simply a product of their environment, trauma, or choices? They're a product of their environment, trauma, or choices. I'm going to be honest with you. All three can be true at the same time. When we're talking about, is there such thing as a good person? All three things can be true at the same time. Okay. Is there such thing, right? So what does it say? Are bad people simply a product of their environment? Yes, that can be the case. You're a product of your environment. Product of trauma? Absolutely. That can be a circumstance as well. Or choices? Absolutely. Is something called free will. Yes. Yeah, something called free will. So definitely. So what we're going to do is we are going to take us a very brief commercial break. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. The time right now is 8:47 p.m. East Coast Standard Time, and I thank you all so much for watching. And this commercial break is brought to you by Early Fall Babies. And when friends aren't real.
These messages will be right back.
Much respect to you. I appreciate you all for being patient. So let's go ahead and let's think about something, right? So good, bad people. Okay. Well, this right here, to a nice degree, explains why it's so subjective. Because a lot of us will look at good and bad people as what? Those who should be never forgiven or those that should be forgiven. There's so many different nuances that come into play when we think about this. It's not as black and white as this video is.
Be good enough to forgive someone, but don't be stupid to trust them again. Snake will always be a snake. It is sad but truthful. No matter how much time passes, no matter how many chances you give, a snake never forgets how to bite. It will smile, it will act innocent, but the moment you let your guard down, it strikes again. Some people don't deserve a second chance. They don't deserve your trust, your kindness, or your belief that they've changed. Once a backstabber, always a backstabber. Once a liar, always a liar. It is sad but truthful. You can forgive to free yourself from anger, but never be foolish enough to open the same door twice. They betrayed you once, and they'll do it again. It's in their nature. Don't let history repeat itself. Move smart, stay sharp, and never forget the lessons pain taught you. Keep your guard up, your trust locked away, and your heart protected. Some people only come back to finish what they started. They return not because they've changed, but because they see another chance to take advantage of you.
Okay. Now that's very interesting. Do you want to know why that's so interesting to me? Well, for this reason. Okay. So, I was just speaking about a little bit earlier, right? How are we born bad? Now, in this video, it speaks about how never trust a person again. Once a liar, always a liar. Once a snake, always a snake. I have a quote myself that goes, when you lie with snakes, no, when you shake hands, that's right. Yeah, I know they don't have, I know. Yeah, it's one of them. When you shake hands with snakes, you wake up with scales. Right? So you keep shaking hands with snakes, you will develop the scales, right? So there is a large part of that in which I believe myself. Okay. All right. So let's get back in motion. Boom, boom. All right. Now that we are thinking about this from a more so open-minded standpoint, now that we've taken it out of the black and white.
Be good enough to forgive someone, but don't be stupid to trust them again.
Okay, so now that we've taken out of the black and white, now that we're back in color motion, right? Salute to my mother's turquoise. Much respect. So listen, I always wondered about that when we're talking about what is a good person. Now, what did the last question just say? See, there's a connection, right? We're not veering off. There's an actual connection here. So let's look at this last question, right? Let me see what we got here. Hold on. Is there such thing as truly an evil person? I said I do believe that there are truly evil people, right? But watch this. Did we or did we not just read? Can someone be considered good if they occasionally do bad things? So wait, what if that occasional bad thing you did is something that a person, let's say it's a person or even a group of people, you was in a social group or something or whatever, like a person or somebody say they never forgave you again. Does that mean the rest of the world should see you the same way? Or do you move on and find your tribe? Now watch this. One man's trash, another man's treasure or whatever. So if they throw you away and then you find a whole nother group to take you in, does that then not subsequently turn that entire statement into something that is subjective? Because now here it is, you have night and day. You have a whole group over here that's like that, this, and that. They got so much stuff to say about you. They ain't got nothing good for you or anything. They probably even wish harm on you. A lot of them is probably saying it's on site, right? You know how life the streets can go, right? We all do if you've lived long enough. I'm 42. Thank you, God. I appreciate it. I almost passed away at 39. I'm still here. All right, now. Well, 1,000 times over before that, but let's not talk about that. Look, right. So I myself am somebody who is genuinely taking the time to um, redirect my life. Now, let me help you all out. With everything that I'm speaking about, there are the categories of what we would consider to be the unforgivables. Yes, the point of no return. Putting your hands on somebody. All right. If you put your hands on somebody and they never forgive you again, I don't have nothing to say about that. Because in their mind, it's instinct to think fight or flight, life or death. And if in any reason they feel being around you could cost them their life or someone else or whatever, I ain't got nothing to say about that. Right. Okay. Somebody who has honestly, yeah, I'm gonna say it, like after deep rooted trust, like somebody stealing from you, like that's tough. That's tough. There are some categories. Of course, the putting your hands on somebody in that form in which is not wanted, right? You know, that R word that we call grape, right? Definitely, that's an unforgivable. A lot of people would say taking a life, right, senselessly or something, or even taking a life, even if it was an accident, unforgivable. So we do know that there are categories in life that are unforgivables. Now let's eliminate those from the table. We're not talking about any of those. We're talking about your everyday, I don't like what you said and or did. The everyday, just something happened one day with like you and some really, really good friends of yours. Let's go back to high school. Because what I've noticed is, again, what this is talking about is a lifelong time. We're not talking about like if this is only like some days or weeks ago or months or something, or even a year or two. Have you ever been the person who maybe you had a certain reputation? Let's just take it back 10 years ago. 10 years. I believe an entire decade is long enough for one to make a change in their life, right? And then I also wonder, does the person pointing the fingers ever ask for forgiveness themselves for anything at all? So my point is, if it's been 10 years later and you've actually taken the time to correct yourself, but people still want to look at you in a certain light, that right there can make it very tough for people to be able to move on in relationships and life at times. Not you and the person who sees you that way, the person who's trying to move on. Because what it does is over time, it derails the psyche and then it puts that person on a guard. That's all it does. It doesn't make them stop loving. It doesn't really change who they are. It's just now a wall is put up because that person knows how much they will invest. And so they're like, you know what? I don't want to keep having, you know what I'm saying, going through like heartache and headaches, right? I don't want the heartache. I don't want the headaches. You smell me now? Respect to the family. The time right now is 8:57 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all so much for tuning in to Smitty's Corner, aka The Lighthouse. We are the lamps. I appreciate you. So let's go ahead and hit this bow. Switch our banner. Now, I want us to think about this, right? While I go ahead and switch our mode. I want you to think about something briefly, okay? All right. So moving into this question here, right? Moving into this question here. This is the part that I would say is the most, I don't know. I look at it the deepest, right? Is there such thing as a truly evil person, or is it circumstantial? Out of this world, I would say tough cookie to explain. But if we move forward now, right? Now watch this. So here we go. Do our intentions, right? Do our intentions matter more than our actions? When judging goodness, can a person with good intentions but harmful outcomes still be considered good? Ooh, that depends on the circumstance. That depends on us. That is circumstantial, from circumstantial, situation from situational. It definitely is. Let's read this again. Let's read this again. Do our intentions matter? So let's just start there. Absolutely. Um, Especially in my belief system, life is definitely more about your intentions than the action itself. I'll give you an example. Some people will look at it as, you went up and you helped this old lady. She was coming out of the store. She was carrying bags. You went on ahead and you helped her and you carried the bags to the car. A lot of people would say, bless you, young man, right? May God bless you, right? As in, you get blessings for that. Like that is looked at as a good deed. Intentions, all right? This is how deep rooted intentions are and how masterfully wonderful in way of design it was made, right? So with your intentions, do ours matter? Yes. You can have another circumstance, it's the exact same. You see that old woman and she's coming out the store, or old man, whatever. You see somebody of elder, one of our elders coming out of the store. You want to go help them. By the time you get over there, they already got their stuff in the car. Because your intentions was, I need to get out and go help them, even though you didn't make it over there to help them, you still get the blessings as if you actually carried the bags to the car for them because of where your heart was. Now, that's only one side of that coin. Don't get too comfortable. All right, now. So now as we move further into the question, right? What does it say? It says, do our intentions matter more than our actions when judging goodness? Wow. Do our intentions matter more than our actions? Okay. Can a person with good intentions but harmful outcomes? Yes, you can still be conceived, because the key word is good. Now watch this. Now let's switch that word good up with just a few others, right? Watch this. Okay. So, all right. Can a person with good intentions but harmful outcomes still be considered a acknowledging person? No. You see, you're not acknowledging what is taking place. Can a person with good intentions but harmful outcomes, right, still be considered responsible? A lot of people can argue no. Because responsibility comes with discernment. Discern as in to decide, make the right decision. So if you're not able to use your discernment and situational awareness, that is extremely important. Situational awareness, man, that's so important, right? So if you're not able to do that, you're going to have a hard time. I promise you, right? Okay, now. So let's look at this. So now in its fullness, right? Do our intentions matter much more than our actions when judging goodness? Can a person with good intentions but harmful outcomes still be considered good? Yes. So at the end of that, the answer is yes. Because see, just because you're reckless with what you do, that don't mean you're a bad person. You just clumsy as hell. That's all. You know what I mean? You just don't know anything about time and place. That's it. It's really all that's saying. You see, we have to remember something too, like actually listening. See, like we'll listen to that main part, and then they get you. It's almost riddle-ish. It's that one word that gets you, right? Like some people know this, right? The riddle, when they ask you the question of, what's that question they ask you? A plane crashes on the borderline of Canada and America. Where do you bury the survivors? You know how many people said, I don't know. It depends on where they came from. See, the thing is, you're listening to the bulk of that. Plane crashes. So instantly, boom, your mind goes somewhere. You ain't listened to that one last word, just like that word good was in there by itself, all by its lonesome, right? You didn't hear the word was survivors. Why are you burying live people? You should be taking them to the hospital. We got to think about how words are set up and how they organize. Just, I mean, it's a very, very different type of mode when you really start getting into the dialogue of how these things work, right? Okay, now, so let's go ahead and do this right here. So we got another question on hand. All right. Jackpot. We got another question on hand. What do we got right here? All right. How does power or privilege affect a person's ability to be good? Well, God dang it, Jim. I don't know who's here. What's going on? Much respect to you. All right. Salute to Scorched Earth building. Scorched Earth 824 in the building. Shout out, Brody. I appreciate you. I know. Let me see what we got right here. Okay, y'all. How does power or privilege affect a person's ability to be good? How does that work? All right. That's what I want to know. All right. Does having more influence make it easier or harder to stay morally grounded? Let's go back on that again, people. Okay, now. How does power or privilege affect a person's ability to be good? Simple. It's called going to your head. And some people allow it to do that. Goes to your head. Period. You got to be very, very careful. And see, this is why I tell people, like, put it like this. Like, I think this is really the best way to put it, I believe, right? I believe it's the best way to put it. This is why I tell people all the time, and I'm going to say it again. I'm glad I have the opportunity to say it again because I actually muted myself last night, and I was very upset about that. And shout out to my man Too Tough for the $250 cash app. Once again, I appreciate you. Let me see what we got right here. I know. Hold on. So, this power or privilege, as far as how it affects the mind. All right, let's talk about it. So, how does power or privilege affect a person's ability to be good? You know how nowadays we say, go chase that bag. I know that, right? Everybody says it. Chase the bag, chase the bag. I find that fascinating because I wonder, like, do we not know how that really goes? Right? So apparently we decided to do everything out of order. That's right. So listen, I'm going to say it. And this is the part people just really can't rock with me about, but it's okay. I am one of those you will learn in due time. If I say it, I stick to my guns. Period. Because I'm my own man. So listen, right? Chasing the bag is probably one of the worst things to tell people to do. Dead ass. I don't know how they slipped that one in there on us, but it's a horrible, horrible statement. I want you to follow me. I know. I probably got some of y'all attention. What, Smitty? Ain't nobody trying to be no broke ninjas. I know. I got you. But we're going to really pay attention to why I'm saying this, right? I want you to think about it. You know something else that people tell you don't chase? Clout. You know something else people tell you don't chase? Like, let's say for us as men, right, fellas? All right, women. How about this? Ladies, you too. I mean, don't sis in them or society tell you don't chase no nigga, right? Don't chase no man, right? Okay. But what they will tell you to do is chase that bag. So now watch this. You'll see how we're circling back to it. Everything's going to formulate itself, okay? Just let the cake bake itself, okay? Chef in the building. All right. How does power or privilege affect a person's ability to be good? Boom. Because I tell people all the time to chase your what? Chase your what? What do I tell people all the time to chase? Does anybody know? Oh, I'll remind you, your purpose. When you chase your purpose, there is nothing that won't chase you. Listen, they got it backwards. They told you to go chase something. Why don't they ever tell you, put yourself in position to where everything in life you ever would want and some will follow and chase you? Did we ever think about that? Not really, though. Let's break it down. They say chase the bag, chase the bag, chase the bag. So now when we get to this question right here, right? So now when we get to this question, when it asks about, right? Hold on. So when it asks us the question about, can that affect a person's ability to be good, money and power? Yeah, it can. If you didn't chase your purpose before if you didn't find your purpose before you got that money, yes, it can corrupt you. And it can become the root of your personal all evil, not mine, because I'm not under the same umbrella and covenant as you are, sir or ma'am. My headspace is totally different and it's mine, just like yours is yours. We getting steps closer, right? You see how we're working this? So honestly, when they say chase the bag, go get the money, bruh, if you discover, now I talked about it earlier. I talked about it while I was sitting here drawing my picture. I was asking people, well, not asking, I was just speaking about how I asked people, what are you good at? What's your passion? Do you not know how many people over the age of 30 will tell me they don't even know? Now watch this, but you know what they do know? How to go chase that bag. Now watch this, because they don't know their passion, they don't know their purpose. What happens generally when they get the bag? It's fumbled, squandered. A lot of folks wound up broke all over again in just a couple years or over time, because you chased the bag before you chased the proper headspace to know how to deal with the money when it came your way. How you gonna go chase love and you don't go get yourself together first? You smell me now? A lot of people do not want to take time and look at themselves. I swear on life. Nah. I just want to take the shortcut, Smitty. I just really just want to go. Look, can you leave us alone? We just want to go get the bag and that's it. Okay, cool. You go do that. Only thing I'm saying is I recognize where the results can lie. You smell me now? Respect to the family. Okay, y'all. So now we're going to go ahead. We're going to switch it up a little bit. Now that we got through like the questionnaire part, right? So now we're going to go ahead and go through some clips. All right. This is the going through the clip segment of the show. And we're just going to go over a few videos. We're going to see what we got. Okay, y'all. Much respect. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. The time right now is 9:12 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all for watching so much. Thank you. Okay, now let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to go on back here. I'm going to go on into my history. Hold on. Who's this? Ooh, hey, give me a second, y'all. I'm sorry. Hold on. I didn't even see my phone ring. One second.
I'ma get mine. Get yours, nigga, cause I'ma get mine. Today gon' be a good day. Jack gon' keep it playing from the Genesis. As I'm blowing dope, being broke, my only nemesis. Remember when it wasn't all good, I used to reminisce. Felt like I was going through hell with no deliverance. Niggas throwing salt in the game, condoning ignorance. But when it's really in you, not on you, we know the difference. Nigga ain't no willing and dealing, we really killing shit. My brother passed a shooter like Luca, he gave me 10 assists. Nigga, I was Dennis before you knew what a menace is. Nah, I just...
All right, I apologize about it. Oops, my bad. Forgive me, I hit the wrong button. Now I had a phone call come through. My bad about it. All right, so let me go ahead and do this right here, right? So I'm gonna go through my little list right here. So I have a few little selections of videos, right? So it's a few I want to go ahead and talk about and just kind of go over real quick. So I want to know what you all's thoughts are about these videos. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's just get to it. But first I gotta get it pulled up, right? So some of these are just, it's just more than anything, short clips, right? So I just want to kind of go over something. Um I want to know this first before I go ahead and shoot this off, right? I don't know. Somebody in my chat. Much respect. Oh, okay. I don't know. Respect to you guys. I am so sorry. I don't know why YouTube doesn't tell me anybody's here. I'll be sometimes having like 8, 10, 12, 15 people here, and I don't see no one until you type something. It's weird. I don't know why they do that, bro. I never know someone's here. I have no clue. I be checking to make sure I'm still live sometimes. I think I'm blackballed because I refuse to be with the narrative. Let's go ahead and get it, man. Salute to Von Eric, man. What's going on with you, though, brother? How you feeling today? Everything good with you, partner? My man, my man. All right, so yeah, I want to make sure I go ahead and tap into this next segment here. I want to continue to talk about something. I'm going to tap into this again. All right, part 2. So we have this age of, like, the drill culture. We have this age of recklessness. I shit you not. I have no clue when we just did not care about life at all. Now, I do recognize. Yes, beloved. What's going on, baby? Hold on, y'all. 1 second. One chat. She hit me. Yeah, y'all gotta wait.
I'm gonna get mine. Get yours, nigga, cause I'ma get mine. Today gonna be a good day. Jack gon' keep it playing from the Genesis. As I'm blowing dope, being broke, my only nemesis. Remember when it wasn't.
All right, Ben. I apologize. Thank you, y'all. All right, so when do we stop caring about life? When? That's all I want to know. When do we like real talk? Like, when do we get to the point where like we don't give a about Nathan? Like nothing. Like we don't care about a damn thing. I just be curious. When did we get to that point in life? How did that happen? Right. So I want to pull this up, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do this. Let me do this right here. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to this first. Okay, so let's go back to this. All right, boom. Give me a second. I'm working on 2 screens. I'm working on 2 screens here. So I'm trying to keep up over here. And so I don't do none of this on one screen. I'm like going back and forth. And then I got my phone here. I got the laptop there. So I'm trying to, forgive me, y'all. So sometimes if I'm a little slow with it, I'm a one-man band. And I'm definitely a heavy pot smoker. So like, I be trying to balance this out. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to this right here. I'm going to type this in very briefly. Okay. All right. So this is what I'm going to type in. Okay. This is what I want to know. Like what exactly is, like, I don't get it. So, all right. So this is what I want to pull up, right? All right. So this right here. So let's just go here. All right, so let's just go here. All right, so I'm just going to skim through. All right, so when we look at things like this, right? When we look at stuff like this, let me shoot. I got to remove this one, remove that one, and add this one to it. There we go. Okay, there we go. Thank you, people. I appreciate the patience. So now we're looking at this. At what point did we just 100% completely just decide to say, you know what? I just don't care about life. Amazing.
Chicago's South Side. These streets are home to some of the most dangerous gangs in America. Last year, there were more murders here than in any other city in the United States.
What I always be rapping about, we don't be lying about this. You rapping about what's now that also deeper than rap.
Now you know what's wild. Listen, man. I need y'all to get something, yo. Look at how young they are. I mean, as far as like, and so then you know what I used to think? Watch this. Like when it hit, I'm saying to myself, I'm like, shoot. I used to think like only like the cartel or something like that. You know how like overseas, right? You have certain militias, like in maybe certain parts of Africa, certain regimes and stuff. They're doing a little like guerrilla warfare type stuff. And they even have like little kids with them, right? And you be looking like it's something from overseas and saying, wow, man, that's a whole child, right? Bruh, I remember looking that young in the face. I mean, I'm thankful I still have a youthful glow to me, but I don't look that young no more. Not that young. Bruh, this right here looked like anywhere between 9th and 11th grade, bruh. Like this is I'm not even seeing seniors. And I I don't see college. No. Look at this.
I really
Right.
that movie.
So we call it drill music.
Drill music. Okay, cool,
Drill music. Like how you all hyped up and just
No doubt.
ready to go crazy. I said,
A lot of these do shit with YouTube views and all this shit. We trying to eat. We got
In January of 2011, Louis dropped his debut mixtape, Man Up, Band Up, with lyrics about Chicago street life.
Now, I'm going to just glance through these things. I'm not playing on these whole videos. I'm just kind of floating through some things. What I'm trying to do is I'm building something up. I'm building up a vision in your head so you can get where it is I'm going, okay? As we speak about it, okay? So we're going to keep talking about it as we pull up the visuals, okay? Now, I want you to think about that. Look at how young they look. Now, I want you to think about it. Now, I go to this video here, right? I'm going to go to this video right here. Now, this is random that I'm typing. I'm typing this in random, right? Watch this. And I'm just going to pick a year. Okay. All right. Bye. Okay. All right. So here we go. Watch this, right? Now, me being older, I remember, honestly, when Pac and Big passed away, of course, like most of us do. Why was that so devastating to us? Grandmaster Jay, why was that so devastating? Eazy-E, why was it so devastating? Because they were so spread apart. That's one. Two, it's also because it didn't happen so often. So how do we get to this point right here? I'm sorry. And the list. This is deep. It's just like introduction. So then I'm looking at all of this. Now, you know what's crazy? You know what's so crazy? What's crazy is this right here. All right, so I'm looking and I'm saying to myself, so now we get to this point, right? Now, you know what I knew? You know what I knew once upon a time? What I knew once upon a time was, once upon a time, I knew that a lot of the rappers talked about what they used to do. So even though, yeah, it was some gangster shit, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys, they were talking about things that they made it through. Now, let's go ahead and look at this right here. Now, this is the part that really just fascinates me when I look at it, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get to it. Interesting.
Person. But before we get into the video, please. friend named J2Z, real name Joshua Emerson, were in a stolen car riding through the 5500 block of Floyd Avenue at about 1:40 p.m. Elo was the driver, Daysab was in the front passenger seat, and J2Z was in the back.
So we have one more video, right? And this is rappers that died on drill. Rappers that died on drill. Which finally leads me to what it is I want to actually go to, which is this right here. This is what I actually want to go to. And so, I've been speaking about these things for quite some time. I've been speaking about this stuff for a long time now. And it's something that I do. I just notice it. I just noticed that really, it's been pushed way overboard now. It's not about it being pushed way overboard at this point, because the fact is that's not going to stop. That's not going to change, right? But you know what I do know? I do recognize that the way the whole process of this work, when it comes to the schooling aspect of it, it's terrible. The schooling aspect of it is no education. A lot of these young brothers do not know how to move in the streets. So now we're here. We're right here. Man, oh man, oh man. Now, this is the part in which that really baffles me. And then we're going to talk about guns. I want to talk about some guns. That's right. And why they're so dangerous in this video. Now, let's listen to this right here, right? Let's listen to this right here. All right. And this video right here is brought to you by... Okay, so 1 second. Okay, so let me just go ahead and remove this. Hold on. Let me just remove this. Remove. Boom. Hold on. Let me remove it. There we go. There we go. All right, boom. Let me do this. What is going on right now? I think they're asking me for another key. Okay. I think they're asking me for another key. Give me 1 second. Let me see something here. I think they're asking for a key. So I can keep this live going, right? Let me see. This isn't the right one. No. Let me type this in. Let me see something. My bad, y'all. I just want to make sure I keep everybody involved. I'm about to pull this video up. I'm trying my best to keep everybody. Oh, there it is. I see how to do this now. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, I'll go ahead and reset. My bad. Next. Okay, let me do this. All right, let me do this. Paste. Save changes. All right, we added. All right, let me see something. I think it was back on. All right, we're back on IG. All right, y'all, let's get to this video. I appreciate your patience. Now, let's listen to this right here. This right here is interesting. Let's go ahead and get to it. All right. Brought to you by none other than yours truly. Now, before we listen to this video right here, I want you to just answer me a question. Do you know out of any of them who's still here with us? Welcome back to Smitty's Corner. So for this one right here, it's just going to be a quick short video with something I wanted to point out, right? Something I wanted to point out. I almost forgot about this piece here. I want us to all look at this photo. All right. Got 1, 2, and 3. Now, for those who not hip, we got the guy YBC Duel, which I just did videos on. So from left to right, that's YBC Duel. Next to him, that's that's Bloodhound Little Jeff. Bloodhound Little Jeff in the middle. And then right up here on the right towards the front, that's Lil Scoon. So we got Duel, Jeff, and Scoon. What do all three of these people have in common? What do they all have in common? All of them didn't make it through this summer. This video was recorded this year. Nobody lived to the end of the year. All three, like, I'm pretty sure it's obvious why they would click up. All three of their stories are damn near identical. Everything I just was speaking about with the YBC duel incident, everything with these other two is damn near identical. Just, I guess you can say, location or what have you, you know, immediate circumstances of how the incident went down. You know, one might have been in a car, one might have been standing outside of a car, all of that. One might have been, you know, caught in a drive-by, but the fact is, all three of these young men are under the age of 30. All right, all under 30, all no longer with us. All three of these men were very disrespectful rappers as far as dissing the, you know, people who passed away, just how they went about life. They're all basically the same. That's why they all three were able to click up and make music, because they, you know, their headspace was the same. But now that all of that's done, right? This video, whatever, it's somebody still making money off this. But guess what? It's none of these three. None of them are making anything off of this. If anything, now no longer do other families suffer because of what they continuously spoke about and brag about, right? But guess what? Also now their family has to suffer, because who's to say that their family has the money for this? Who's to say their family was expecting to do? Yo, funerals cost, yo. You would think, like, you know, at least for you leaving up out of here, like, well, I mean, he's gone now. That should be like the no. It can be just as expensive as a wedding.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is. You're right. It's fact.
My bad about that, y'all. See, yeah, I be needing some help sometimes. I didn't know I was speaking on mute. Forgive me for that. So now we're going to get back to the news story. Now we're really going to break down. So I want us to really pay attention. This is what I like to highlight, right? More than anything else. This is what I like to highlight. So let's go ahead and let's go right here. So as we go home, boom, okay. A story popped up on me, and it was a new story, right? So it's a new, like, you know, I guess late breaking type of story, right? So that's like new late breaking story. I don't know where that came from. I didn't even click on that. I didn't even click on that right there. So a new breaking story comes through. Now, you know how we've been speaking about the Carmelo Anthony, and we've also been speaking about this school shooting, right? The school blicky, should I say, from that's over in Texas as well. Now, both of these stories are in Texas. Now, I played everything I played to go ahead and show us, like, look at why it's so important. Reputation matters. When we talk about are people good or not, guess what? Do you not know how many of us will look at them young brothers and be like, you know what? Nah, they just are products of their environment. You remember that being part of the question? Some people will say, nah, we don't want to hear that. They made a choice. You remember that being part of the question, right? And the other part said, do you believe it's circumstantial? That was also a part of the question. All right, cool. All right, so now that we got past that, now we're going to look at this from a broader lens. I'm going to pull this news story back up. All right. So let me go ahead and type this in. Forgive me for this. All right. There we go. Wow. So now let's look at this and see what we got. because this is wild. So we're going to go to my boy O'Shea. O'Shea always has a very, very interesting take when it comes to this. Now, you know, a lot of people are saying, is the family good? Why? Because things they're buying, you know, things they're paying for, so on and so forth. All right, now, so let's go ahead and look at this. Let's just, I don't know, let's just see what we got. Let's rock out. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. I will be back with you all probably in the wee early hours of the morning after I'm done praying in its entirety. And when I get some work done, still doing some work. I got to prepare for a lot of these trips and everything I have in store. So I'll be letting you guys know a lot more about that as we go. So don't worry, I'm going to keep you updated. But let's listen to this real quick because it's interesting to me how this all works out.
I want to bring you some breaking news here at 4:30 in case you're just now joining us. Carmelo Anthony, the teenage suspect in that deadly Frisco stabbing at the track meet, just walked out of the Collin County Jail minutes ago. Today, a Collin County judge reduced the bond for the 17-year-old from $1 million down to $250,000. Anthony will have to wear an ankle monitor from here on. He'll be on supervised house arrest and can only leave the house with the approval from the court. He has to stay off social media as well, and he cannot contact the victim's family.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again.
Fair use, fair use, fair use. Excuse me. This is being used for, let me go ahead and put this down while I say it. My bad, y'all. Fair use, fair use, fair use. This is being used for educational as well as entertainment purposes only. Yes, I am rubbing aloe vera on my skin. Have a plant over there. It keeps growing. It's awesome. Let's keep on going. Stay natural, stay organic.
Of the celebrity junk. As you guys know, Carmelo Anthony, a student at Frisco Centennial High School, has been the talk of the month of April because of the stabbing that occurred at a district championship meet, Austin Metcalf. Okay, and we all know that there was a confrontation allegedly started by the Metcalf brothers. They put their hands on him. He told them not to do so. They were trying to get him to move from their seat, and if he did not agree to do that, then, you know, like I said, he said, hey, listen, I'm going to go ahead on and show you what's up. They proceeded to do so, and Mr. Metcalf was stabbed to death by Carmelo Anthony. Now, what has happened subsequently is that we've seen almost a racial divide in the country. Now, we have most whites on the side of Austin Metcalf that I can see, although you do have some whites who agree, okay, that basically he has the right to defend himself. However, on the other side, we also have some blacks that feel some sort of way, okay? And it's more than what you think. They want Carmelo Anthony to get life in prison. And I want to play, okay, this pastor by the name of Jordan Wells out of Fort Lauderdale, what he's been saying about Carmelo Anthony.
Black activist judge just released and Carmelo Anthony on a lower bond, which he did not deserve a lower bond. The bond was what it should have been for the type of crime he did. When you commit murder, you have you've always had a high bail. But because she's black, he's a kid, he's 17, and she's black.
My bad. Nope. So let's go ahead and break this down. So a lot of people just don't know how this goes. Let me help you. Let me help you, bro. All right. So look, right. As somebody who knows personally, right, I'm not proud that I did 7.5 years at one point in my life, but it's a part of my history, right? So let's go ahead and hear it from somebody who knows how this goes, right? Now, first and foremost, Either he's being extremely disingenuous or he knows nothing about how the law works and why bonds are set. A bond is set very, very high or not at all, contingent upon usually three things. Severity of the crime, yes. But the two main things behind that is flight risk, right? And a threat to society. That's just a fact. He's not a flight risk and he's not a threat to society. A threat to society means when they look at your record, do you know what his record says? At the age of 14, he saved someone's life. He literally rescued somebody from passing away when he was 14. Not to mention track star athlete. He plays football. You know, he's just as decorated as rest in peace to the other, you know, Austin Metcalf. Rest in peace to him and his, you know, and condolences to the family, right? Keeping things respectful. He's not a threat to society. Now I want you to pay attention to this part. This is the part that gets me, right? So I was speaking about it yesterday and earlier. So we also have an incident where in the same state, there was a school shooting, school blicky. It was two of our own against each other. You know what the bond was set at? $600,000. So his bond, right? Carmelo Anthony bond was set at $1 million initially. And I'm only speaking about that as far as why are people so upset? Considering, do you even know how this works? Actually, what the judge did was something very, very reasonable and something that really the law permits. You're supposed to review it. It's called a bond hearing, as in we're going to hear about your bond. She heard it. She made a very reasonable determination. Now, this is the part that gets me, right? So you see him saying what he's saying, right? With his old big goofy self, right? All right, so cool beans. Why is nobody talking about all the threats that this judge who gave, listen, the judge is a black woman. I could have sworn we talk a lot about women not being protected out here. Do you all not know how many death threats from the others have come her way because he was able to walk free? Why you not talking about that, bro? Why nobody talking about that? Just curious. That's all I want to know. Do you not know how many death threats have come her way just because she went on ahead and she did something that was very reasonable? Matter of fact, if the shoe was on the other foot, they would have been like, you know, yeah, thank you. Thank God. They would be so happy to have Austin home if he was the one, if the shoe was right? If it was reversed, they would be so happy to have him home, right? Now let's go back to that question. What is good? Now let's think about the original question of tonight while we keep on watching this, as everything connects. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. The time right now is 9:42 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. I thank you all so much for watching. Much respect to you.
And she's an activist judge. She decided that she was going to, what I mean by activist is she put her personal opinion and then just look at the crime. Because if she just looked at the crime and took the race issue out of it, which is my problem with everybody who's talking about this case, is if this was a white on white person, or if this was a white person doing it to a black person, we wouldn't even be having these conversations. It would be a black.
Because I hate you coward ass niggas. You a punk ass nigga.
I'm just trying my best not to cuss, so I'll let JP do it for me. And yeah.
Timepiece Frosty, that's why you only get one chance to cross me.
Are we listening to what is being said right now? What did he just say? Hold on.
Black and white closed door thing. But because race has been injected into this and this country has become racially toxic, this is what happens. So this activist just.
Do you know who?
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
God have mercy upon us.
Let me just do this. Okay. Let's do this since I'm gonna go right back to bruh. Don't worry. I got bruh. I got him. All right. So what we're gonna do is this. All right? We're gonna go ahead and click on this. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to these videos. All right, so watch this. Okay. All right, so first of all, I'm gonna pull this up. You said who made it racial? This is just one content creator. Just one. Okay, let's go through the videos that he has about this young brother, right? Okay, so we got 1, 2. Okay, all right, cool beans. All right, no, we got 1. There we go. We got 2. All right, we got 3. We got 4. We got 5. God, 6. Look at this, 7. Now look at the title of this one right here. I'm gonna click on this one. This is one person. Who made it racial? Let's click on this video. Let's see what we got right here. Hold on. Let's listen to what he says. What?
Well, here's a development I wish I could say that I didn't see coming, but by the time you're seeing this video, Carmelo Anthony will be out of prison. And
then already talking wrong. Again, this is how you know people who aren't hip. Prison is where you go after you're sentenced. He was released from jail. There's a difference. You know what, everybody? Give me a second. I need to woosah. I need to bring it back because I want to stay informed. Okay. All right. I'm not perfect. I'm human too. And let me breathe this one out. Give me a few seconds. Okay. All right. I'm good. We all right. You know what I'm saying? Shake it up. Let's go ahead and listen. I mean, because he already called him a good little boy on the last video, right? Good little boy. He was able to get away with that.
his family will have raised close to $500,000
for legal fees. Now, people saying bought a house, this, and that, and everything else. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I love to see? You listen. Let me break something down. Do you know what's taking place right now that I recognize personally? And this is what I'm gonna do, so just in case, because I don't know, because sometimes I just be talking and I don't see y'all sometimes. So just in case, I don't know who you might be, but y'all know me. I always like to make sure I leave this. Oh snap! That's what it. I was wondering why my screen was acting funny. Okay, you guys. All right. Let me go ahead and pin this real quick. Bow. Let's go ahead and pin it. I am really seeing. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I am one that says we need more unity. Yo, let's just be for real, man. Look at how when there's a true, like really think about this. I brought up the drill scene and stuff for a reason. I brought up the question, what is good? Is there anything such as a good person? Everything connects people. I know it might have threw you off for a moment. No, we're gonna stay focused. We're gonna stay tapped in. Okay, now let's think about it. We talk about black people not having unity. This is the part of the story that I want to speak about on this, right? And apparently some good black people see. And even those, watch, I bet you it's a whole lot of that money that ain't just from us. Oh, it's some white people done donated too. Thank you, white folks. Your contribution is appreciated. It is what it is. And I mean that in a respectful way, like real deal. Like, thank you. Thank you for looking out on that. Thank you for being the ones who separate yourself from knuckleheads like your boy right here. Thank you for being there. Right? All right, let's think about this. Look at how once we finally did band together. So look, let's just say they say almost 300,000 for the house. Watch this. How y'all know it wasn't a huge black realtor that was like, you know what? I want to look out for y'all. Of course, some money might have been spent or anything. The fact is that look at how when we finally band together, look at how quick they jump down our throats on this shit. Excuse my language. Look at how quick they do it. If this ain't some bullshit. Yo, this is actually something very beautiful in my eyes. I'm telling you, and it's for this reason and this reason only. It is so gorgeous to see my people. Like, bruh, it's refreshing to know, I bet we do got each other back. We actually do. And for that right there, F anything he talking about. Round of applause for everybody who donated. What are we talking about right now, sir? Let's go ahead and listen to more of what he has to say. Fair use, fair use, fair use. This video is for educational as well as we're going to make fun of you, right? Remember when you said that bullshit? I bet we'll make fun of you, but I'll do it in a more so chill, classy way, not in that BS that you all do. Now let's go ahead and get to it. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Respect to the family. Let's remind them. We do have the intellect.
Austin Metcalf will still not be with us.
Right.
His brother will still be haunted by what he saw that day. And a new report that there's actually
that young black brother will forever be haunted by the fact that he was forced into a position because they walked over to him. They picked up his bag. They bothered him. You don't think he don't say to himself, I didn't want to do that. Yo, you not know circumstances like that could years later cause him to jump off? Lord forbid. I don't even want to utter the whole words. Lord forbid. Yo, a conscience is real. And from what I know, any person at the age of 14 that would take it into himself to go risk his young ass life to save somebody, that is a young star who has a conscience and a heart. So we're not, you not going to play with mines, bruh. That's one of mines right there. Never met him before, but that's one of mine. I claim him. Now that's one of mine I claim, even after this incident and all the way through it. Let's go.
Of the confrontation before the incident took place, which could change everything. Somewhere Tim Pool is rubbing his hands together, hoping that it might prove him correct. Just kidding, Tim. Nothing but love. But let's get into this.
Oh, hell no. 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 Oh, hell no.
This story, because it's absolutely crazy. Nah.
The story is life. The story is actually not crazy. This story is just life. What's crazy is people like yourself who say what you say because you're uneducated in how life works. Could it be from a privilege? I don't know. Or could it just be from sheer ignorance? Now, let's break that down. What is ignorance? Is ignorance somebody just being stupid or something and just getting on your nerves? No. Just like trifling isn't nasty. Trifling just means lazy. Now, what is ignorance? Well, the word explains itself. To ignore. All right, so that means you know the truth. You know that man was, that young man was defending himself. You know that young, educated black star athlete who saved somebody at the age of 14 was defending themselves. So you're being ignorant. You are ignoring these facts. Do not ignore the fact that that is not what it is. Do not ignore the fact that the bond was lowered because he's not a threat to society, nor is he a flight risk. I want you to always remember that. You will hear that continuously from this point on. If you're not somebody hip, if you ever hear a court thing, I want you to peep. And anybody who knows about it, whether you got a son, a cousin, a brother, or anything, somebody has heard that in the courtroom before. Flight risk, FTAs, failure to appears, or threat to society because of the record. He doesn't have a record, and he's not a flight risk. He's 17 years old, for crying out loud. He can't leave the country by himself.
I'm so surprised and kind of shocked that this stuff's been so predictable. By the way, shout out everyone who has picked up. I know it's early. Their Mother's Day Metcalf, Carmelo Anthony conference.
Yeah, we don't care nothing about nothing your people selling. All right, show me something my people's got. Then maybe I'll stop the tape for that. I don't care. I just don't care. All right, let's go.
Before stabbing occurred. Now, this is something I 100% renditions.
The fear, I think, is
all right. So let's go. Hold on, y'all. All right. So apparently we have a quick commercial break. All right. So don't you worry about it. I always like to take care of the commercial breaks. Now, you know what's very fascinating is that this commercial break is going to be brought to you by something that's very, very prevalent to what we're speaking about right now. And that is the illusions. Goodness gracious. At this point, you know, sometimes have you said to yourself, just like me, what is real and what is not? And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Stay tuned for more. Let's go ahead and let's get back to the video. I appreciate everybody so much for tuning in. Shout out to everybody who's watching on the IG side. Shout out to, ooh, shoot, I didn't look at that. Let me check. I appreciate you. Let me go look. Mine does not signal me to anything at all. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hey, shout out to the Rumble team, man. I don't know what y'all be doing at Rumble, but y'all be doing the damn thing. And I really appreciate you for that contribution. Wow. Okay, now, was not expecting that. Let's keep going with the show. All right, y'all. So now, let's go ahead and get back to this. My bad, y'all. Yeah, please forgive me if I don't say anything immediately or even during the show. I normally do not get notified. I don't know why. It just doesn't go off. My phone don't go off. And half the time I have it on Do Not Disturb. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to it. All right, so with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Let's go ahead and see what we have with this right here as far as what he has to say, because a lot of it is just, I don't understand it. I just don't.
Let's get it. This that go and get it. With no hesitation. This that never quit. Start that elevation. This that process. This that in the making. This that started from the bottom. This that motivation.
All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get back to the video. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. The time right now is 9:58 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all so much for watching. Let's get back to the video.
Debate for me. Authorities have collected video evidence of the confrontation between two Texas teens that resulted in the incident during the high school track meet in Texas on April 2nd. Carmelo has been charged with first degree in the passing of Austin Metcalf. Police said that he allegedly confessed to it and then immediately made the claim of self-defense. It's like we know that he said, touch me, see what happens. Punch me, see what happens.
And that right there, guess what, bruh? Guess what? This is something you don't know, sir. See, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to help us out. Don't worry. Smitty got us. Don't worry. I'm on the team. So let's go ahead and get this straight. All right. So now what we need to remember is something that's very, very important, sir. By him saying that, that means it was no intent. He didn't word and say, I'm coming to drill you. He didn't say anything that was of intent. By him saying, touch me and see what happens, he's making it very clear. And that's an obvious statement that he is in the self-defense mode. You know, the claim that he gave. That is a clear indication of touch me and see what happens. Do you say that to somebody you're attacking, or do you just attack them? Let's just sit on that for 3, 2. Who says that to anybody unless they're being threatened? That is a you are in the defense mode statement, end quote. If the statement was, come on to my property and you will get shot, that is a defense statement, not an aggressing statement. Thank you for helping prove his case for the day he goes to court. Hopefully they'll play your little raggedy ass statement. Excuse my language.
You know, he was trying to escalate the scenario. In my opinion, he must have had some sort of fantasy of being able to.
All right. So now let's listen to that word, in his opinion, which nobody cares about. Nobody cares about your opinion. And we'll get further to that as we go, how much we don't care about your opinion. See, the thing is that, watch this. Watch this. Do you know what a court case is determined upon? Do you know what bond is set upon? Beyond reasonable doubts and stuff like that. You see, you know, like when we get into that realm, you remember it's something called beyond a reasonable doubt. So since we know that there is something called a beyond reasonable doubt, guess what? That means that there is no room for even a doubt. It has to be beyond the reason of one in the first place. So when you say my opinion, yeah, we don't want you on the jury that day. And I would say, honestly, in this case here, I definitely recommend the young man to get a judge. Get the judge to go over the case. Like, get the judge to be like, for the determining factor. Don't do a jury, young blood. Don't do a jury. I pray. Oh, I pray that that your family and everybody knows this. Do not get a jury. Stay away from the jury, because it is a very, very likely chance, especially in the state of Texas, you can come across some jurors that talk just like him. And you know what? I don't trust the news. I don't trust the media. I don't trust none of them people at this point, because they couldn't even tell us that that wasn't a private tent. They had to make it seem like he was over there, like he just went over to like some private VIP section and people's with their family, and they like, who is this wet soaking in the rain? You know what I'm saying? Negro coming over here, sir. Could you please leave? I understand you want to get dry, but this is our personal. We don't know who you are. Now, watch this. If that was the case, I'm going to be honest with you. Be quite honest with you. I actually would be able to understand that. I actually would. I actually would be able to understand that. You want to know why? Because I don't care if it's raining, snowing, whatever. If I'm in somewhere with my family and a stranger, just like somebody we don't know, just comes to our section. Yeah, nah, I'm one of them. I'm one of them pit bulls. Like, hey, bro, who you? I'm one of them. You know, like you're not just going to come over here. Now I'm going to check you out. I'm going to get a feel for things. I'm going to make sure, you know what I'm saying? Me and a few other good men, me and a few other good fellas. We're going to make sure that everything is good. We're going to make sure everything's straight. You're not just going to come over there. So if that was the factor, I ain't going to lie. I ain't got nothing to say to that. But the fact is that it wasn't. That isn't what happened. It's not what happened. No. So they just sat up here and just said a whole bunch of stuff in our face that isn't even the factors. Why? To push a narrative. Why? Because we all know cases like this are generally, at the end of the day, you know what's so crazy? Did you know that even you, as somebody at home, is a part of the jury on this? Like me, you, all of us. We don't have to be the ones actually in there, part of the 12. The officer for the George Floyd case, was it really the jury that convicted him, or was it popular demand from society? Which was it? Let's think about that. Last time I checked, it was because the courts knew the judge. Now watch this. You know what they did talk about during the George Floyd case? How that judge, the white judge, was getting all of these threats if the judge did not give a guilty verdict. Let's not forget. You see how they get you? Because see, the thing is, it's so much stuff that happens so fast, so often, right? Like we don't ever get a chance to even let like the last incident sink in. Like it be so much stuff that just happens back to back. You don't even get no time to like, oh snap, dang, I almost forgot. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, that did happen. You don't never really get a time to let anything really sink in, right? Okay. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. I want to add something briefly. Don't mind me, people. Much respect to the family. Let me see if I got this right here. I hope this is it. I don't know if this is it. Is this it? I'm trying to add some music. Don't mind me. I do random stuff like that. I'll just take a moment and just say, hey, I just feel like doing this. Let me see something real quick. There it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, we in there. All right, so let me see something here. That, and we in there. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. I wanted to make sure I uploaded that into there. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Let's get back to the video. I want to hear what he has to say. Just a little bit more. Then we're going to move forward. And we're going to get back to the other side of this. Because that dude ain't off the hook. Not done with you, Pat.
Will it take someone's life as we find more evidence of him getting in other physical altercations? I'm sure you're shocked to find out, which we're going to talk about later in this video. Dominique Alexander of Next Generation Action Network, a civil rights organization, informed the public at a press conference on April 8th that investigators have collected video of the confrontation and urged the community to stop spreading misinformation about the case. He was at the time until today, in which he is out among the free, which we're going to talk into later. He had been held in custody under $1 million bail. One witness said that Metcalf touched Anthony, while the other said he grabbed Anthony during the confrontation.
No, sir. His brother, his brother admitted that we approached him. Y'all don't know how many flaws are in the case. Shout out to the home team, man. Shout out. Score one for my people, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, with all the logistics involved, that boy not about to sit in prison for the rest of his life. I ain't about that. Listen, I just want to make it clear. I'm calling it. I'm saying it now, right? Nice and subtle. And I'll pull this footage up later. He's going to get either acquitted or he will be found not guilty. They're going to give him the Rittenhouse. I want you to remember I said this. Remember this day. It's going to take a little while for the case. Most murder cases, most deletion cases, goodness gracious, forgive me, YouTube. See, this is why it's weird. Yeah, you just be trying to adjust. Usually these cases are about a year and a half to 2. So we listen, there's not going to be no determination. This is going to go well into 2026. Like if it's actually, listen, when they say speedy trial means they can be done by fall of next year. Do not be surprised. Now, it could be sooner. It could be. I doubt it. Especially with all the controversy, they're going to drag this on. Also to kind of get that break. You know what I'm saying? Like just media attention, everything. They're not going to, nah. This is too big. Now, the thing is that I find very fascinating is this. Now, this is what I want to get to. Now, you heard how he said the $1 million bond. I'm going to bring this up again. I'm sorry. I have to bring it up. So let's go ahead and go right here. Okay. All right. So let's go right here because I'm just going to go directly to this video because he directly said it. And it was very, very fascinating. And I love the fact that he said it. And I appreciate him for saying it. All right. So let's go ahead and get to this right here. Wow. All right. Let's go ahead and do it. Yeah, I like this right here. All right. So now, this is the thing about it that we also know, right? So in this case, right? So in this case right here, this is the part that's wow. Okay. We have a case where in the same state, the state of Texas, there were school blickies, right? That took place and occurred 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row. Okay. At the same school. This school is predominantly black. Well, it's all us. You know, like them schools in your community where you know it's basically all us. Like, you know, we got a couple Spanish, few whites, but nah, it's all us, right? Cool beans. We got a few out here like that myself. Bowie High School, predominantly us. It's predominantly black. Are there whites? Are there others? Of course. No, that's all us out here. Okay. So now that we move forward, let's look at this story. And why am I looking at this story? For this reason here. Now, I want you to remember the bond amount, right? The bond amount. Ain't that something?
Happening yesterday, roughly 1 year after.
And you can look at these two images and you could say, they kind of look the same. So
these are two school shootings. Deletion. These are two school blickies that took place. And during this time, these are the two people. Now, it's also a whole nother story that I want to take time to really talk about. And that is, when did we start doing this? But I do understand. They didn't go there to try to off everybody. They just had a beef with somebody. See, it's different. It's different. They just took the street to school, which they shouldn't have done. So regardless, in the eyes of the media, it's going to be looked the same as the white boys that go in there and like they just don't care. They want to off everybody. They trying to see how many can they get before they do themselves. Nah, that's not what these young brothers was doing. They was just beefing with somebody. They had a specific target. No one got hit other than who they wanted to get hit. It's a difference. But you want to know what's also the difference? The bond amount. It's also the difference. When they did this to one of our own, I want you to think about what society thinks about your value. When they did it to one of our own, all right, the bond was set much lower, 600,000. When it happened to the others with no record at all, $1 million off rip. Think about that. Let it sit, let it marinate. Matter of fact, we'll just give you one of these before I push play. I'm gonna just give you one of these.
I could understand why people would be confused. No, these motherfuckers pulled up an image from last fucking year and they thought that they could broadcast it for the here and now, spreading misinformation.
Exactly. And a lot of that information was who did it. You want to know why? Because it's so easy to just say we did something. Would it be misinformation for the others? Would that same mistake have happened for them? Just a question. Now, is this something to like kind of like dart at as far as like a racial wise? No. I am somebody who observes. And the number one thing that I've always recognized, number one thing that I've always known and recognized are the illusions of this world. So now let's go back to your brother. Let's talk about him for a little bit. Okay, cool beans. Let's see what we got right here, right? All right. Where you at, Pastor? Let's talk about you a little bit more. Let's listen to what he has to say. All right. So now let's pull Pastor back up. All right. So now Pastor's back. Pastor, you back from the bathroom? Back from the bathroom? Oh, okay. There you go. Let's give him a full again.
Judge released him on a $250,000 bond. It's ridiculous.
Now, as you know, Carmelo Anthony's family raised over $400,000. All right. Now, they're upset that the judge, Angela Tucker, who's an African American, lowered the bond from $1 million to $250,000.
My bad. I'm on mute. Her right there. All right. Her. That's the face. That's her. You know how many threats? Oh, shoot. There we go. There we go. You know how many threats she's gotten? That's a sister. That's one of our own. So I want you to understand something. What's going on here? So we got one of our sisters who went on ahead, considering it is a reasonable factor to give him a lower bond. Period. Right? And I'm gonna be honest with you, 250. That's still like, yo, listen. All right. So if they do the 10%, 250,000, that's still 25,000. 10% of 250,000 is 25,000. Most people can't afford a bill to pop up in their house for $500. You talking about 25,000? And you mad? Listen, we're not just talking about lawyer fees. 25 stacks. They said the boy's bond was at $1 million, or the young man, as I would like to say. His bond was at $1 million. And so now y'all all mad because our own came and did what the world says we don't do. And even myself have had some question too because of what I've seen. And this is why I'm so proud of this moment. This moment really does it really does. It reinforces, like, when it really comes down to it. Nah, man, my peoples ain't crabs in a barrel, dog. And I ain't even gonna go for that shit no more. See, that's the thing about learning. We ain't no crabs in the barrel like that. This sister right here is going through a lot simply because she did something that the law permits. They're not, listen, nobody's saying, hey, she should be taken down from the bench. Now, let me ask you this. Has anybody said she should be removed from the bench? No. Not really. I'm pretty sure there's a comment here and there from them. But the main thing that's being spoken right now is what? What it is that they see that we can do when we really unify. This is just one case. Let's go ahead and broaden it. Let's magnify it. Let's make it expand. Imagine if this was like something on like a real united front, like we ain't buying this no more or anything. Look at how overwhelmingly emotional the others get when we show the slightest fraction of a unity. And this is why they like people like our brother the Trope. Let's go ahead and go.
And in that, Carmelo Anthony raised almost $412,000. But look at what he's saying next.
Apparently, Carmelo Anthony's family, right, are using the $400,000 they raised, and one of the things they're going to buy after they lowered the bond is they're going to buy them a new house because of the threats they're getting. So they have to buy a new house. I don't know when y'all black people are going to ever learn, and you people on the left, especially the black community. George Floyd people did the same thing, but we don't care in our
all right, so oh shoot, I'm sorry about that. Okay. What was that he say? He said, you people. I ain't gonna lie. Look, I'm not all too big on talking about, you know, what do they call that? The Negro wake-up call. You know, teach his own on that, right? However you view it. I just present things, right? Whatever it is I feel a certain way about, I'll tell you. But other than that, I'll just present it. Bruh, let's just be for real. You do know that they know on the other side, right? Let me tell you a secret. Let me tell you a little secret. Bruh. When they know, let me get my microphone. When they know that you have no loyalty to your own and they are so loyal to theirs, at least when it comes to factors like this, do you know what's going to happen? Black man, they're never going to truly trust you. They're going to keep you just close enough to keep the rest of us away from them. One more again for the win. They're only going to keep you just close enough to keep the rest of us away. At least that's what their minds think. But even yourself will never be right there with them. You're not saying anything that's of a benefit for yourself or anybody whom you know and love, nor is it a benefit for those who share your skin tone and features. Period. Let's get back to the video. But before we do,
Timepiece Frosty, that's why you only get one chance to cross me.
We're used to abuse. We're used to being used, right? The George Floyd family people did the same thing. The people that raised money for George Floyd, BLM, that scam that nobody but the black will talk about, that stole all your money and ran off with it and disappeared and bought the mansions with it, right? Just we do the same thing. It's called insanity. And now they're going to use that money to live lavishly off of the people who raised.
You mean just like how you're using your narrative? Just like how you're using your narrative to live nice and lavish off of, I don't know, maybe pandering? I don't know. Did we think about that one? Did we think about it at all? Just curious. Respect to you, sir. Respect to you. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to it. The time right now is 10:22 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all so much for watching. Much respect to you.
advocate for him. It's exactly what black people do. It's exactly what people in our community do, and it's a shame.
Now he's saying that, oh, they're going to use the money to buy a new house. And let me just say this. As you guys know, I vote Republican. I have voted Republican. I supported Donald Trump in 2016, 2020, 2024. But as you guys know, your boy O'Shea is still what? Black. F being a Republican today. All right. I am in the support of this young man. All right. I'm in the support of the young man. Why? Because the young man was not bothering anybody. And we can't get away from that. We can deal with, well, it's illegal for him to have a knife. Okay. He shouldn't have had a knife on the premises. Okay. If you want to say that, well, if he had a knife on the premises and he was just stabbing people for no reason, then you would have an argument. But because people put their hands on him and they was threatening him, he wasn't bothering them. He was minding his business. He was not there to attack anybody. It wasn't no YN type stuff. According to his father, he is a 4.0 student. And from what I understand about Frisco, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas, blacks are not really liked well that much. Let folks tell it. So we're not even there. And again, I'm not, I don't want to disrespect Mr. Austin Metcalf's family. I'm pretty sure he was a well young man, loved young man by the people who knew him. I get it. But at the end of the day, I hate to see you have these black conservatives. They will do anything to be against blacks. Oh, so the black community decided to raise some money. What are they going to say then? Well, you know what? You can't get these blacks to support no other way. The only way they'll raise some money is to do this. Well, here's what I want to tell you. This is the first time that I have ever seen blacks come to the table and raise some money for something like this. It's the first time. It's the first time. And
is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is. You're right. It's fact.
I shit you not. I am doing a raw reaction. I didn't know O'Shea was going to say this part, but this has literally been my whole everything I've been talking about. Like, bruh, look at how when we finally unite, how they just flip their because we're actually showing what they thought we never could possibly do. Hey, man, one more again for the win, man. Round of applause for my peoples, man. Round of applause for the black community.
I think that it's great, okay? Because every group supports their own people, right or wrong. White people do it, Asians do it, every community does it, and you want the blacks to call it like it is and then be against each other while every group supports each other. Hell no. No, 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 no. That young man got the right to a trial. His people is supporting him. The judge lowered his bond. Yes, now we're talking about the equality that a lot of the whites got, and y'all don't like to see it, and a lot of blacks don't like to see it. See, a lot of blacks want the whites to have all the advantages, even if it hurts them. Because if it was his son, if it was his daughter, he wouldn't be talking like that. Oh, no, see, it's wrong. No, you will want mercy for your child. You will want your child to have the ability to get off, like any other community's kid would, okay? This young man was not bothering anybody. His intention was not there to start a fight. And that's what you can't get around. If you want to have him with the possession of a knife and charge him with that, okay, let's charge him with that. Sure, he had a knife, he shouldn't have had it. But as far as charging him with murder, he was not, I don't think, that wasn't his intention. And he gave the guy a warning, period. And I hate to see other blacks out there trying to give an excuse coming down on blacks so that you can't have nothing and let white people and other groups continue to go ahead and practice their nepotism and then get mad when black people try to do the same thing that we should have been doing for years. This is a step in the right direction. Every other community does this. And in this case, this young man, I believe, has a pretty good argument. I've seen cases where you see folks from other communities do things and they folks support them no matter what. No matter what. If you even talk about it, they'll get you fired. And these folks talk about they love black people. You want to be white and you're going to go over there and they not going to respect you. Like the guy I'm showing them right now, whenever you go around talking like that, nobody respects you. I'm here to let you know. If you think that black people or white folks respect this stuff, you are insane.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is. You're right. It's fact.
are ridiculously insane. You going around talking about your own community like that. When the black community then came around and raised a lot of money, getting their people on, getting their folks out, I think that's great, okay? And so many folks try to be black conservative so much instead of trying to conserve being black first. Conserve being an African-American, being FBA. That's our conservation, which is we got to stick through our people. We need to support our people because everybody else support their people. This young
Is
man,
it possible this story is true? Yes, it is. You're right. It's fact.
was out there doing drive-bys and just robbing the white folks and all that. He was not doing that. He deserved our support. And all of y'all who think otherwise, if it was you in this situation, you would want somebody to come to your defense. And damn it, I'm proud of the black community. I'm happy for y'all. I don't care if the Republicans don't like it. I don't care if MAGA don't like it. We are black before we do anything else. Before we talk about religion, before we talk about politics, our first goal should be supporting our community first and overall. So guys,
Oh man, my bad, y'all. I'm sorry. I was up here talking on mute. I'm glad I put my head up on time. Why is that so important? Because we're always speaking about strength in numbers. We need to recognize that, people. Need to be careful with what it is that we say and do when it comes to going against your own. And the only reason why I say that is because we should have that unity. Absolutely. So with that being said, y'all know I love us so much. Just wanted to make sure I come up here and speak on that. So again, people, okay, let me go ahead and pull this up for you briefly. We're going to end this off on a good note. We're going to end it off on a good note, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and let's go here first, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go here, all right? So let's just do this as we end it off, all right? All right, we're going to do that. Boom. Okay. And we're also going to do this right here. And boom. Okay. Now we're going to do this. Boom. So I want you all to stay tuned. Okay. I don't be joking about what I say. It's all very real. I've been sitting back quietly planning a lot of this. So we are going to start taking all of this and what we do more so to the streets. All right. So this is the first step. Well, the first step was this: your boy being back up on his feet, walking around, doing what he got to do. All right. Step 2. Okay. Step 2 is this right here. That was the first step. First step. All right. No, first step was what I showed. That's the second step. And of course, the third step. Y'all already know. I still got a lot of work to do. Again, this is just me getting back there, right? And again, I'm just going to say I'm somebody who is tremendously proud of himself. Point blank, period. I'ma say it. I'm proud of me, goddammit. Hey, matter of fact, you know what? Round of applause for the man.
Messages, we'll be right back.
I'ma get mine. Get yours, nigga, cause I'ma get mine.
Southside born and raised, cook good, Mac Miller. Whole block on glow. You only get shining from with you. Now I done came up in the goose and clapping for the presence. The shit I'm producing easy with the zebra. The shit and get ruthless. I don't trust a nigga, no time for a Judas. They set it up, niggas coming wet it up. Pay you for the money, but I never give a motherfuck. 40 give them tummy sucks, 30 bullets in the gut. 100 shots at me, but I'm off with the I'm a truck. If you talking about it whenever, however you want it, but we ain't gon' let up. Hit you with the let off a hose from the nigga by freedom, and we been get back to the cheddar like
Taylor, no risk, leave for one cheese and dough like a cheese and pizza. Uptown with the heater seekers, they'll shake your hand and say nice to meet you. Then they leave you, sneak like, tell me what it be like. Cameras under them street lights, gunfire, no fist fight. Might live wrong, but I'm so right, I'm so right. Freestyle and songwrite. Oh yeah, and I'm about that life. Oh yeah, and I'm about that life. Oh yeah, and I'm about that life. Uptown, tell me what it be like.